Howdy, this is Dr. Stacy Lyle. This is Lab 2 for Geography 659 geodatabases. I'm going to go through here and show you two different versions. This first video is for if you're using version 10.5 ArcGIS, but there's also a version for GIS Pro that I'll show you later on. Okay? So let's keep going with that one. So your learning outcomes, you're going to learn the functions of using ArcCatalog to go in and edit the maps as you go through. The first thing you'll need to do is to create a geodatabase. And inside there, what you'll see is that you'll have to learn about geodatabases, and you can go in and learn with this link here. It should still work. And learn about the different things about a geodatabase. And the geodatabase basically is an access database that has the data and the relationship table similar to what we put together previously already built for you. And in this assignment, you're going to bring in some data and add it to a geodatabase. So we're going to download data. We're using Canvas instead of eCampus here. And we're going to go through and use the topology tool, and we're going to go through and bring it. But basically, a geodatabase has the feature data, the things that we're bringing together. It also has the topology or the relationships of those databases. And then we have some other featured data sets that we can bring in together too as well into that scenario. So you'll want to open ArcCatalog inside 10.5 if you're using that, and right click on the folder and then go in there and say you want to have a new geodatabase. Rename your new geodatabase to a name, and then go in for your next one and create a catalog for adding a new feature data set. So once you have your data set, you're going to create a feature data set inside of your database. And this is similar to like making a table, but this table already has all the information in it in terms of your feature. So you want to then make sure that you determine what coordinate system this is at and assign that. You can go in there through the connection, and there'll be a place for you to set up that you want to either use a projected or a geographic coordinate system. And then this is very important. Projected coordinate systems is where you're saying northing and eastings, and geographics when you're saying latitude and longitude. So you'll need to create two data sets in this lab, the commercial data and the census data. Now, what you need to, back up a second, what you need to know is the difference between geographic and projected coordinate systems. And when you pick these and you select NAD 83 or the coordinate system that you have, you might sometimes be prompted to say what transformation, if the features that you're bringing in say are in another coordinate system. North American datum 83 is a datum which can have projected and geographic, which means you can have North American datum, northing and easting, and North American datum in latitude and longitude. A datum is a set of data. We represent these datums with points on the surface of the Earth, and we assign latitude and longitudes on a spherical or ellipsoidal Earth, or we assign northing and eastings in the terms of meters or feet. It depends if we're going to say state, plane, or UTM for a projected system. So when you convert or use a conversion from geographic to projection, that's called a conversion. If you go from one datum to another, there's like NAD 27, 1927. If you go from one datum to another datum, that's a transformation because you're really taking two separate coordinate systems and having to decide to go between those. So if you bring in a data set that's from another datum, you might be prompted to answer a question as to what transformation you want to use. So you want to be aware of that as well. So you import the data to the data sets, and the slides here will walk you through that aspect of being able to import these data sets. So you're going to go find them, then connect them, and then bring those data sets in. When you're bringing in census data, say something about it, is basically broken down into a hierarchy of the nation, the regions, divisions, states, counties, census tract or block groups or census blocks down to individual neighborhoods, but it could be not only the overall neighborhood, but they could be grouping those into blocks of a smaller aggregation. Now, the next thing you want to do is to build the topology. And when you're building the topology, what you're going in there and doing is saying where features are together. What are the relationship between those features? You know, how do they connect together? And so in here, the steps to build that topology that I'm talking about, where you're building that together. To learn more about topology, there's a good link down here about ArcGIS topology, but you got to think of it as the relationship where two tracks, two blocks, or something lie together. They must have a common line together, and they must share that common line, and we need to make that connection so that we can answer query questions, about that topology or about that relationship. All right. So that's the next step that you'll have to go through. You want to go through and select the topology and invalid items, all right, and go in there and try to fix those topologies through the software. It will build those relationships for you. And there's a topology taskbar that you can use to accomplish this. Finally, when you get towards the end, you're going to identify and export all the parcels that intersect roads. So on your final portion of Lab 2, what you want to go through and do once you've imported all the features, you want to go through here and choose the selection and click the down arrows and hit the target areas. And you want to say, where are all these parcels that connect through that roads? Because you've built that topology, you can answer those questions. And that's the beauty behind that. When you get through, what you need to do is submit some data to us. Basically, we'd like to just see the screenshots. So take some screenshots of your geodatabase or your catalog tree in which you include the two data sets and the 6 layers and the topology that you build. The green screenshot of a invalid census blocks on ArcMap can be done, and then the screenshot showing where the exported parcels intersect the roads. And we want to try to get this done within a week. And if you have any questions, please contact me. Good luck. Thank you.